Welcome to Professor's Garage. If you have a Toyota V6, the 2GR-FE engine with over 120,000 miles, it's time for spark plugs. This 2013 Sienna is over 150k, so we are doing a full tune-up. Iridium plugs, plenum gaskets, and throttle body cleaning and gasket replacement. Most people think the real spark plugs are a nightmare, but I'm going to show you exactly how to access them. Plus, we aren't just guessing if this fixes our performance issues. We're going to use the Cowl S608 bidirectional scanner today. We'll run a live data diagnostic before we start to check our fuel trims, throttle response, and use it post-replacement and cleaning. Let's dive in. Parts and tools we need: Iridium long life spark plugs from Denso or NGK, 3 pieces of intake manifold or plenum gaskets, and 1 throttle body gasket from Toyota. Throttle body cleaner. Never use brake cleaner for the throttle body cleaning. Some dielectric grease for the coil packs. Tools to disconnect electrical connectors. Socket. A ratchet is ideal. The most common sizes are 12 and 10 millimeters, and this ratcheting combination wrench with a flex head might be useful in the tight space. To get to the rear bank, the cowl has to go. Don't fight it, just remove it. Before you remove the wipers, mark their positions with the tape or stickers on the glass. Pop the cap. Remove the 14 millimeter nut. Press the hinge to release and pull it out. Then remove the cap. 14 millimeter nut. Press to release the arms and then pull it out. Clips holding the plastic cowl. To unclip, just press it with the tool and then pull it up. Just be careful not to damage the windshield. Okay, so this plastic cover is removed. Now we need to remove the wiper motor. First, unplug the connectors. Press the tab and pull it out, like this. Or, let me show you a very nice tool. This is one of those. Disconnect pliers. Depress the tab and then pull it out. And on this one as well, pull it out. Press on both sides, pull it out. Press the tab on both sides and then pull it out. Just move it aside. There are 3 10 millimeter fasteners holding the motor, so let's remove them. So just pay attention to this rubber. It slides in. Slide to the side. Move this rubber mount out, away, and then you can carefully move this out. The wiper motor is out. 14 millimeter, 14 millimeter. Let's remove them. On the other side too, 14 millimeters. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 10 millimeter. Now there's a bracket with a connector here. You can either remove the entire bracket or just disconnect the connector here. I'm going to remove this nut so I can remove the bracket. Use a box or combination wrench. The bracket is out of the way. Now everything is out of the way. We can remove the metal tray. Make sure you do not damage the windshield. Be very careful. Now it's loose. We can pull it up and out. Now we have huge access to the engine. This is great. And we can easily get to the back. Of course, we still need to remove the plenum, but it should be a piece of cake. Remove the engine cover. Let's remove dust with compressed air and a vacuum. 13 years, 150,000 miles. This engine still looks all dry, except for just a couple of spots of minor oil seepage or leak. Everything else is all dry. It's amazing. Before you take things apart, take multiple pictures of the engine bay so you remember where things are, just in case. Now, I understand that the rear is the fun part and the focus of this video, but before we tackle the rear plugs, let me show you how to do it in the front first, and then we are going to repeat every single step on the rear bank. Bank 1 in the rear and bank 2 in the front. Cylinders number 2, number 4, and number 6. We are going to start with number 6. 10 millimeter. Disconnect. Just pull it, remove the connector. You may wiggle it and then pull it straight up. It's all dry. Great. To remove the plug on the Toyota, use a 5/8 socket with an extension. Straight in, make sure it's fully engaged. Okay, excellent. Now let's compare the new plug with the old pre-gapped. The same size, the same part number, Denso FK20HR11. Let's use this boroscope to take a look inside each cylinder. It's a 360 articulation. Now we are ready to install the new spark plug. According to Denso, you do not put NTCs on the plugs. They have been pre-greased. So tighten this to 13 pound-feet of torque or 156 inch-pounds. Do not over-tighten. This is very light. The coil pack is in excellent condition, but they have been there for a while, so before I put it back, I would like to have some dielectric grease, just a little bit on the inside. This will seal better, but don't put too much. And definitely not putting any dielectric grease on the electrical contact. So put this back. Finger tight. Good. For the connector, almost every single tab broke on this replacement. Right now, I do not have the ports to replace the connector housing. So a quick trick here on the Toyota connector is to use a zip tie. Thread it in, put the plug on. I pull the zip tie all the way in. And you hear the click, and this is in place. You won't be able to get this out. So this will fix it for now. Cut this. And that's it. The connector is not going anywhere. Let me show you this trick again. Zip tie in, the flat side down, push it in, hear the click. Now I'm going to just repeat that on cylinder number 4 and cylinder number 2. These are all brittle. They all break. Every single one breaks. Now we are done with the front. Let's tackle the spark plugs in the back on bank 1. The major obstacle now is the air plenum, so we need to remove it. Let's start with removing the connectors and hoses. The MAF sensor connector. Another way is to use a pick to pick the tab up from this side and then push it away. The perch line, pull it up, dislodge it, put it aside, hose from the PCV. Okay, another hose from the PCV valve. Okay. 4 bolts holding the throttle body. Let's remove them. 10 millimeter. And then there is one hidden down there, which is difficult, but hopefully I will be able to use this to loosen it. And the tight space, only this fits. These two are coolant lines, so do not disconnect them. The throttle body connector, press and pull. Now let me disconnect this hose, perch line. Now we can move the throttle body out of the way. We are going to replace the throttle body gasket. We'll also clean the throttle body later. Connector here, let's remove it. Now with everything, all the hoses and connectors disconnected from the plenum, we're going to remove the nuts and bolts mounting the air plenum to the engine. There are a number of bolts and nuts in the front, but there's also one in the back. So this is from the passenger side of the engine. You can see there is the bracket here, the bolt on the engine, right on the black bracket. So this one mounts to the engine. And then, as you can imagine, the other side of it mounts to the air plenum. Remove this bolt on the engine. 12 millimeter socket to the back of the plenum. And then loosen it. The bolt is loosened. Let me remove it with fingers. It's actually easy to remove it, but you cannot see, you just have to feel it. Okay? So this is the one. Now there is also a vacuum line in the back. Remove the clamp and then disconnect the hose from the plenum. On the side, 2 10 millimeter nuts, and then in the middle there are 4 5 millimeter Allen or H5. We're going to start from the outside and then zero in. One nut. H5. Spray a little bit of Cowl. This works wonders. Let's wait a few minutes and then we're going to tackle them again. Great. Okay. There's one more hose here. Another 12 millimeter. Now let's try to lift it up and pull it out. Yep, it's loose. And now let me remove this vacuum hose. Put the clamp to the side. And then we can twist the hose and remove it. Okay, good. Now I believe we should be able to move the entire thing out. Okay. And these are the gaskets we are going to replace. The bolt we remove from the passenger side, and then there is another bolt that secured the driver's side of the plenum. So let's put this aside, and we are going to tackle the spark plugs. Again, you want to wipe away from the intake. You don't want anything to go into the intake. I'm very interested in the intake valves. This is a port injection engine, so I expect intake valves to be clean without major carbon buildup. But let's take a look. Now, there is some carbon on the passage, but going into the intake valve itself, very clean. So we have inspected open intake runners, and inside each one, there is some buildup on one side of the passage, but on the valve, there's zero carbon buildup. One thing really critical here before you proceed, you want to cover this area. This is critical. You don't want anything, any ports, any nuts and bolts to fall into the intake. As you know, you won't be able to get it out unless you take the engine apart. So cover this area before proceeding. This is the PCV hose. So remember, this is a location. Looks weird. Okay, it goes this way and then cuts this corner. But this is the way it is. Don't move it. In this route, you are not going to crush it. If you move it, you may crush it. You will have a vacuum leak. And we are ready to tackle the rear spark plugs. We have removed the connectors. Pull the tab and pull it out. Pull the tab, pull it out. So now I can have access to the number 1, number 3, and number 5 cylinders. Lift it up and then it still breaks. I have no luck so far on these connector tabs. They're all super brittle and break on me. I think this is better lighting and better viewing angle. Hopefully you will enjoy this view. I have removed the first connector, cylinder number 1, and then I'm about to remove the cylinder number 3 connector. You can use the pick the front of the tab, okay, and then you can try to remove it. And then we can go to the next one. Let me use my screwdriver method. Yep, push it aside, and then you should be able to remove it. Again, I'm going to try my ratcheting combination wrench. Yes, perfect for tight space. Okay, 1, and then let's see, and just push it. Yes. It looks good. I remove this, again pry the tab back and then move it out. And so there is room for this coil pack to come out. It looks good. It's fully engaged. Make sure it's fully seated before you turn. Great. Looks good. Again, tighten this to 13 pound-feet of torque. Good. You don't have to be too tight. It's plastic. Now number 3, remove the coil pack. Pull it out. Now the spark plug. Make sure it's fully seated. Okay. "13 pound-feet of torque." Good. Now cylinder number 1. "13 pound-feet of torque." Good. All spark plugs and coil packs are in. We're going to reconnect everything. The connectors. This is the only surviving tab. I think this connects to the plenum. Now make sure everything is connected back in the rear. You don't want to come back to remove the plenum to reconnect anything here. Now let's clean the throttle body. Spray some carbon throttle body cleaner on the rack. And then you can push the throttle body slowly from one side. And then clean the contact surface, the ring of the butterfly and the bore. And then the bore. Clean the other side as well. Slowly pry this open. Focus on the contact surface. Now on the plenum, let's also replace the gasket, part number. Now we are ready to put the plenum back and reinstall everything. Again, the PCV hose goes here. This is the correct position. Put the plenum back. This is the front. There are two bolts in the back, one on the passenger side and then the other on the driver's side. Okay. Line up the holes on both sides to the two studs. And then slide them in, and I think it's in place. Now I'm going to put the two 12mm in the back roughly in place. I'm not going to tighten them. We connect this hose. I did not tighten. And then on the other side, I show you the position on the bracket. It's threaded on. Tighten the mounting bolts and nuts first. And two nuts on the side. Tighten the nuts and bolts in a crisscross pattern, starting from the center and then spread out. The bolts in the middle, 13 pound-feet of torque. The nuts on the outside, 10mm, 12 pound-feet of torque. 12 pound-feet of torque, 13 pound-feet for the bolts, and 12 for the nuts on the side. Now I'm going to tighten the bolts in the back. One over there. Now replace the throttle body gasket, part number. And there's a connector in the back. We connect to the throttle body. Now we are going to tighten the throttle body. Make sure the bracket is also bolted on. It's only 7 pound-feet of torque for each of these. You connect the hoses, PCV hose, perch line, the PCV hose to the valve, the perch line, this vacuum. So let's do a recording of this, and we are going to monitor fuel trim's throttle position, among other things, after the replacement of the spark plugs and throttle body cleaning. Clear DTCs, cleared. Let's remove the key, back in. Okay, I just realized I forgot to put this MAP sensor back on. Good. Good catch, scanner. Again, initially, the RPM will be high because we just cleaned the throttle body. The ECU is going to relearn the throttle. So it's still updating the throttle position. Fuel trim is running rich initially. So long term is positive, but short term is negative. So overall, it's still within 10%. It's more like a rich condition based on the short term adjustment. We'll let it idle and then see where the values will settle. There's no misfire, which is great news. It's still idling relatively high, above 1,000. No unusual noise, which is great. And I don't think there's any special code on the scanner. Let's wait for the values to stabilize. The short term, the absolute value actually goes down within 5%, which is great, to 2,500 RPM. And then they go down. Engine speed to 800 RPM, which is good. 5% minus 4%, so 1%. Throttle position, 15% compared to previous values, which is 16 or 17%. Now the work on the engine is done, and I have tested the engine. It runs smoothly and everything is looking good. No diagnostic code. And now I have shut off the engine, and we are going to put back the cowl and reinstall everything back to finish the job. Now the wiper motor. Pay attention to a few things. So line up the spot here, and the rubber mount point, another mounting point here. And this simply slides in. There's a slot here. You just line up and slide the whole thing in. And once it line up, 1, 2, 3, bolt them down. Now let's put the harness back. Push the clips back, push it in. Reconnect the connectors. This is loose, so I'm going to use a zip tie to secure it in place. It's not going anywhere. Now we are ready to put the plastic cover back. Just remember, there's a slot for the windshield. So line up against the windshield and then push it in. It should engage. Now on this model, this rod is in the way, so it makes this a little bit difficult. Remove the rod, put this in place. That clip should go under the windshield to clamp the windshield in between. Hope that makes sense. And then push it in. So this is in. Okay, this slides in. Let's secure the windshield. Now under the plastic, there are clips that can go into the slots on the metal. Make sure they are lined up, and then you can push them into place. Now it's secured. Now the wiper arms, the shorter blade goes on the passenger side. Press it on so that put this on. Align the wiper on the sticker. Press the arm. Put the caps back on. Remove the sticker. Put on the engine cover. We are all done for today. I hope this video is informative. If you found this tutorial helpful, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to Professor's Garage. If Professor can do it, you can do it. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and give you peace. 平安。